Hello YouTube, Fable Grimro, giving you guys a deck profile. It's sort of a blast from the past. As far as Vanguard goes, sort of one of the early dominant decks of this game. That, of course, me being late to the party like I am, I finally decided to make just for fun. And this was, as for me, I'm late on this whole Vanguard bandwagon. So when I'm watching the series, about a year ago, I was watching season 1, and then you get the end of season 1, and then this guy happens, and it's like, oh wow, this guy's really, really cool. And I'm talking about Majesty Lord Blaster, Aichi's final ace when he beat Ren in the show with his, Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark sort of dual conundrum he was going through. And this was a deck that actually stuck around in the game for a good while. It was pretty dominant during Season 1, along with Draconic Overlord at the end, and still hung around during Season 2 with the, I guess, Gold Paladins sort of took over, both in the show and as well as gameplay-wise. I remember seeing Gold Paladins everywhere when I was looking up deck lists and stuff for Season 2. But Majesty Lord Blaster was still around for about a good 2 seasons of being relevant, and it really wasn't until Season 3 came out with Break Rides and the new Cross Rides that finally this guy sort of just started to become dated. But it was a deck that I've always wanted to make, so giving you guys sort of my take on it at the moment. Starter is Wingall Brave. Your Forerunner, and then when he boosts a card with Blaster in his name, you can put him to your soul, and then search your deck for another card with Blaster in its name and add it to your hand. So, if you boost Blaster Blade or something like that, you can get your Majesty Lord Blaster, something along those lines. Probably the best starter that the old Royal Paladins have, although he comes with his flaws, as a lot of people will try to guard him early so that you don't get your search skill off, which if you don't open up with one of your blasters, can really hinder the way that your deck functions. So, but for what the deck wants to do, that's what you want to have as your starter. 8 crits. Four of them lose too. It took me forever to find this card. I guess because he's like a double rare trigger, which I guess is unheard of by today's standards, but I mean, it just took me forever to find him. I guess because I didn't want to pay the $3 to $4 price tag people were putting on a critical trigger, when I'm like, I can just use the common ones for the same thing, whatever. And I'm also running 4 Margals, the draw trigger that lets you put them into your soul to get plus 3,000 to a card. I was going back and forth between this and running more criticals, so I would have 12 criticals. But I decided that, just the advantage that draw triggers will give you, the pure card advantage, because you're going to be losing, with Majesty Lord Blaster, you're minusing yourself 2 cards on your field, and you need to keep advantage if you want to continue to do what you want to for the deck. So for now it's 4 Margals and then 4 heals as well. Your grade 1s are of course your 4 classic assaults, Flash Shield. And although this deck is considered a mixed clan, it's primarily Royal Paladins, because Majesty Lord Blaster is a Royal Paladin himself. You want to use as many of the Royal Paladin stuff as you can. So the Royal Paladin triggers, Royal Paladin, Perfect Guards, that stuff, because you don't run very many Shadow Paladins outside of Blaster Dark. I mean, I think some people run Apocalypse Bat, I've seen, but no. 4 of the Blaster 10k attacking grade 1, so if you have a blast in your name, he gets plus 3,000 when attacking. I think he was actually the first one to have this skill, that's why it's, K clone and Bedivere clone as far as 12k attackers go. But he is just like all the other 10k attackers, very, very versatile as far as, this your standard 7k booster, and then you can use him to attack, so he can provide early game pressure, or late game if you're low on your rear guards, you need just another attack to get in there. Just very good as far as pressuring your opponent, very, very, very versatile. And then 3 Toy Poogles and 3 Little Sage Marin, 8k vanilla, and then your 9k booster if you have 2 or more grade 3s. So he works very well with Palamedes and things like that, just to hit very nice numbers on the rear guard. You hit with Palamedes with a Marin boosting, you can hit 21. You can hit 22 with a Toy Poogle, or if you have a Bedivere with a Toy Poogle, that's 21 right there. And then you can hit for a solid 17. It's not quite. It's more than 16, I guess, with a Marin and a Blaster. Or you can hit 18 with a Toy Poogle with a Blaster as well. So just nice for the big boosting to like hit nice columns. So then we have 4 Blaster Blades, of course, 2 of each, anime and then the regular one, along with 3 Blaster Darks, the only Shadow Paladins you're running in this deck. As well as 2 Blaster Blade Spirits, which was kind of like the new support that MLB got. He doesn't count as Blaster Blade for MLB skill, but you can search him off of Wingull. He works very well with Starcall Trumpeter. And then, he's 10k. He can be 10k on Vanguard if you want to, or place him on Rearguard. He's 10k. And he's mainly like a Wingull search target. Just a nice utility card, again, for grade 2s. And then 2 Bedivere, who is your 12k attacker if you have a Blaster Vanguard. As well as 1 Starcall Trumpeter. Starcall Trumpeter used to be like a really good card for the deck, but I've seen, when I'm doing like my research on like what people were doing with this deck, they started cutting this thing because she's only 8k. The Counterblast 2 gets costly after a little while, especially after you're using your Blaster Blade skills, stuff like that. But the purpose of her is that when she's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, Counterblast 2, search for a Blaster and call it to Rearguard. So that way you can search for a Blaster Blade or a Blaster Dark, which is why I'm only running 3 Blaster Darks. Or you can search for one of the Spirits and get its Counterblast 1 Retire skill off of Starcall. So, very nice what she does, but she's become more of like a tech card for the clan, because the grade 2 lineup is very, very stacked now between Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark, Spirit, Bedivere, and her as well. Now, on to the grade 3s. We have the 1 Gancelot. Not going to bother with the first skill, not going to bother. The whole purpose of him is just to search out for a Blaster Blade, just extra cards to get you a Blaster Blade to your hand. Just a nice one of. So it's like a 5th Blaster Blade in the deck. 2 Palamedes. One of the best rearguard grade 3s that is probably in the game, because he just like he hits for 13k on rearguard. Normally there's some like a Counterblast 1 you need for this, but his condition is that you just need 2 or more grade 3s on Vanguard or Rearguard. So he works very well with Toy Poogle. So if you have your MLB and then he put him on Rearguard, he's 13k attacking right there. So he's one of the best Rearguard grade 3 attackers that you can have. Just hits for very nice numbers. And then finally, the star of the deck is Majesty Lord Blaster. I'm running 4 of him. I probably could cut him to 3 and maybe add in like a Soul Saver. I thought about that. But I've seen people do that because you can search him off of your Wingull Braves. But then there's times I see that people are like, oh, well, they blocked my Wingall Brave and retired it, and I can't draw into my Blaster, my MLB, so, you know, I still think that running 4 of, like, the boss, like, because this is your main focus of the deck right here, so running 4, just to at least just draw into him, or get into him as quick as possible, even if you don't search him, is key. So what he does is, he has a continuous effect is if you have a Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark in your soul, he gets plus 2,000 and plus 1 critical permanently. So he's a permanent 12k, which is sort of an odd number, even with like cross rides around. Still, he gets 12k, not bad, more than 11k, plus the plus 1 critical for extra pressure. And then you can choose a unit named Blaster Blade and a unit named Blaster Dark from your rear guard, put them into your soul when he attacks, and he gets plus 10,000 until the end of the battle. So he has sort of a built-in break ride skill, which is probably where they even got the idea for break rides from, was from the Majesty Lord Blaster 10k boost that he gave to himself. But instead of riding a grade 3 over top of grade 3, you have to put 2 into your soul. So he hits for, he's going to hit for like a 22, 2 crit before drive check, before being boosted. So you can either get 30 off of a Marin boost, or a nice 31 off of Toy Poogle. So you want to try to get Toy Poogle behind him if you can. So he's still very dangerous. And also remember that he is not a limit break. This is before limit break, which is something that I keep forgetting. So if you're at 3 damage and plop him on the field, you can just go ham and get some nice, like, really quick early game pressure with him. So anyway, this is just one of those decks. Used to be so dominant in the Vanguard game, very expensive as well back in its day. But since the new stuff came out, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, power creep happened, he's been sort of pushed to like more of a novelty card. But still a very fun deck, still can definitely do what it's supposed to do, and still a very dangerous deck as well. So don't let the new hype fool you. So let me know what you guys think. I know there's a lot of ways to do this deck wrong. From what I've seen, people are like, oh, you're doing MLB so wrong. Like, this is not how you do it. And hopefully I did something right here. So let me know what you guys think, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Peace out.